Hey guys, what is up? It's me, Lemmy, and today I have a different video for you today. If you're not interested in knowing how to tune drums, there's another video coming soon. Just click away, go watch someone else. A couple people you can watch are in the links down below. But if you are interested in how to tune your drums, if you're interested in how to tune your snare drum more specifically, then you are here in the right place. Let's get started. So the sound I'm going with today, or the sound I'm going to teach you guys how to tune today, is more of a splat type of snare drum sound. You hear it a lot in the new Mensa Marcos videos. A lot of Bethel does it. In some culture albums, they have a splat snare drum. I will be teaching how to do what I call a pop snare drum, not necessarily for the type of music, but it has that really gospel pop, a snap. You know, it's more of a snap instead of splat. This one is known as a lower tuning drum. It's something I really fought to achieve for a long time, but I'm not going to give you my life story about drumming or how I started tuning drums or why I started tuning drums, but let's get right into it. The snare drum sound that's going to come to you right now, it sounds a little bit like this. That is the drum sound that we're going to go for today, so let's get into it. Okay, so before we get started, we have to strip the snare of everything that's on it. So if your sticks are here, just put them somewhere else. I always put them on, my floor tom, just to take away some stuff from muffling. Just put it anywhere, moon gels, and then I usually just move this mic up like that. If you don't have a snare stand, I always like to sit on a chair and I'll put it between my legs. But yeah, okay, let's get started. So what first you'll need is a drum key. So all you want to do is grab your drum key and just untune the snare. Now if you're going to change your head, you want to take the whole thing off, but if you're not, you don't have to. So this was already tuned to splat, and you'll see why it's taking me so easy to detune these drums right now. So after you have it, sounds like beautiful cardboard, right? So what you want to do, you want to grab one here and the one straight across of it, and you just want to grab it with your fingers, finger tighten it, and then just go around. Okay, so once you're there, you already feel it has a little bit of tightness to it already, but I don't tune it that high when it comes to the splat sound. I just put my key in there, make sure everything's nice and tight, and I give it that much of a turn. That is about I would say half a turn. Go straight across. I always like to make sure everything's tight when the key's on. Half a turn. Then when you go to the key that you started on and you skip one, you skip one screw and you go to the next one. Go. Make sure it is tight. Half a turn. One thing you'll see me do is once it's tight, I'll untighten it. And I'll tighten it back with the key. Just something I feel that the key does is add a little bit more weight to the top. So like the momentum will just lock it more into place. The screw, that is. So, and we're back at the screw that I started. And let's check out how it sounds. That is, if you hear a little bit of buzzing, sorry, my snare wire is ripped up and I need to get a new one. Tuning the bottom snare is as important, or I would say even more important than the tunation or the intonation of your top head, just for the fact that at least for me, I don't maintain this part too much. Maybe I'll see it every 2 weeks just to make sure everything's running okay. A neat little trick I learned from when I used to work at Guitar Center. You just grab this, lift that part up, carefully lift this up. Make sure you don't break the strings, but you put a stick there on the side from rim to rim, and it will just elevate this so you don't hear any of that rattling on it, and you can actually take care of the bottom head. Right off the bat, the bottom head will be about a turn and a half tighter than your top head, just for the fact that this is where the snares are touching. I always like to get a lot of ghost note action, so from there I will just fix it. The bottom head, it is detuned, and so right off the bat, like I was saying, you want to tune this one a little bit tighter than. So you want to finger tight everything. Doesn't really have to be the way. So it's going to be 1, 2, and 3. It's kind of the 3. The last one is not as tight as the other ones, and then it'll be. That doesn't sound good to my opinion. So we're we're gonna pitch tune. The pitch tune is basically you choose one you like. You usually just go to the one nearest to me and you tune them all to as similarly as you can to the one you picked. So I like to have tight snares just for the fact that they make everything sound a little bit better. They make your ghost notes sound better. And if you like to play with your dynamics, which you should if you're a drummer, but if you don't, I'm not judging you too hard. But you should. It just gives you a little bit. It gives you way more play with dynamics than you would normally get if you do not have tight snares on. Just makes everything sound better. And so now that you have both sides tuned, this is how it should sound. So this sound has a lot of attack, has a really good splooshy, really good, really beefy, really low-endy sounding snare type, low worship, really nice. The wood hoops do help. You can do this with metal hoops or die-cast hoops. It's not hard. It's really simple, guys. There's not much to it except doing the actual tuning itself. Don't be scared to tune. Don't be scared. It might sound like crap first, but you know, you can always fix that. That's nothing you should be scared of. You know, it's really just like learning drums. It's just practicing it and making sure you get it down. Something I like to do as well is add some muffling under the microphone. So once that is done, I will move this back into place. There, I think that's how it goes. And I will usually just place some moon gel somewhere around it. It chokes up a little bit more of the sound, so it's way more dry. It just makes it drier. And then sometimes I will add a muffling ring, and that will just absorb a lot of the overtones and just make my snare super dry, especially when I playing in a place where they have a miking. I always make sure that I can make it as dry as possible for the sound. It just helps the sound engineer more. There is no feedback when it comes to anything, and it just makes everything sound a little bit better for the mixing, whether that's studio or live mixing. One thing you want to make sure is to kind of pitch tune everything. So when you're there, if you really want to get really extra about it, the way I tune it, I'm kind of already know it's already pitch tune. But if you want to, if one of them sounds different than the other, you want to just, like, let's say this one is super high and that one sounds way higher. So what I'm going to do is so guys, that's it for learning how to tune your drums. There's not much to it, honestly. If it doesn't come out right the first time, just try it again and again and again until it works. As you can hear, it works. If you have any questions, my Instagram is down below. You can DM me there and just ask me any sorts of questions you have about this or how I actually did this video, guys. But let me know if you guys liked watching things like this. I'm gonna do another video how to tune your snare higher. I'm not the most qualified person in the world, but I'm sharing the knowledge I have because I can. If you like this type of video, if you want to see more, maybe how to use cameras or other things that you guys see me do that you guys want to learn about, and if I don't know how to do it, I will find someone who does, guys. But that's it for now. So in the meantime, good night moon, good night cow that jumps to the moon, and good night vlog.